Hello, today I'm going to show you how to get a VRChat avatar and convert it into a VRM so that you have a working 3D VTubing model for whatever your liking is. So today you're going to need 4 programs. You're going to need VRC SDK, Pyomi shaders, the VRM, and the VSF, which is VSeeFace SDK. Now this is a tutorial specifically for VSeeFace. So if you're using a different kind of program, I cannot help you out with that, and I apologize. With this being said, the files that you need will be located down below, so that you can go ahead and go to the respectful websites and download them. And you don't necessarily need VRC SDK or Pyomi. I use them just because I'm just so used to them. So we're going to go ahead and run through this together. So I assume that you're watching this and already know how to work on a VRChat avatar. I will go over some things just in case people do, like if this is your first time or everything. There's wonderful guides that you can find online about how to work on VRChat avatars. This is not a guide on VRChat avatars. So I will go a little in depth on it, but not as in depth as an actual tutorial specifically for that. So you're going to go ahead and grab the FBX that you have put into your Unity, which by the way, we are using Unity 2019.4.31 F1. Everything that is also included is a part of the 2019. Anything newer will not work. It will break. If you use 2022 Unity, it will break and none of the shaders will be shown on the VSF. So you have to use 2019 in order to work correctly on VSF. You're going to pull this over here and go ahead and have your avatar here. You don't necessarily have to worry about textures. You're going to have to retexture anyways once you go into a VRM. I do have the VRC SDK, so you're going to press the VRC avatar descriptor. The reason why I do this is because it helps configure all the textures, which I'll explain in just a second. So I usually just get the viewpoint where it needs to go. I get the ball inside just like you normally would in VRChat. I did the lip sync. You're going to press over here, make sure it's blend shapes, and you're going to go over here. So if you have like more than one on here, you don't necessarily know exactly what body you're pulling, so I just like to pull from here. And then eye look, you're going to go ahead and enable, and you're going to work on all this. I don't really care too much because I already have a model with all the specifications that I want. That is it though. You're not going to go farther than eye look. This is not VRChat, so we're not doing playable layers, we're not doing expressions, we're not working on low body, we're not working on any of that. We're specifically just doing this just so we can go to VRChat SDK. And then once we sign into VRChat SDK, it's gonna go right here. You're gonna go to Builder, and then you're gonna auto fix everything that says auto fix. That's gonna mostly correct any of the textures that you have, so that whenever you're talking, you don't have those lines that's showing up. So after you're done with that, that's pretty much it. Once you are done with everything, then you're gonna click on here and press select. You're gonna go ahead and press here. It's gonna say generic. You're gonna go to humanoid. You're gonna press apply. And then it'll say configure after it loads. You're going to press configure, save file. And once it does show up, you're going to go ahead and go to chest. Make sure chest, you can just press on this little button right here. And then you can just search chest. And it should come right up. Make sure chest is there. Make sure this is empty. If you have an upper chest, that's awesome. If not, you don't necessarily need it. Go to head. Make sure jaw says none. It can affect the blend shapes whenever you're working on the model in VRM. So make sure that the jaw says none. You're going to go back to body, you're going to go to muscles, and you're going to press done. Then depending on your model, it's going to take a little bit. Because we don't have any shaders or anything, it's just pretty quick. So I typically, I don't like the main camera. So after you're done with that and you have it in humanoid, you're going to click here. You're going to press VRM 0 and you're going to press export. Export. It's going to ask you for a title, version, and author. So this one's going to be Tut for tutorial, and versions 1.0, and T for Twitchin. And export. I typically like to keep the files all in one area. It's a lot easier for me. You don't necessarily need to do that. but you can have it wherever you want, but this is just how I do it. I right click here, I press new file, and I put VRM models. So that's going to be an empty file here. I'm going to press save. The reason why we want it to be an empty file is because it's going to make its own files inside of that file. So it's going to add all the necessary add-ons that we need in order to have a working VRM. So it is currently working and everything and doing its thing. Once we are done, you are pretty much done with your VRChat avatar. So we don't really need this anymore. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and delete it because I already have one right here, so it's fine. So we're going to go into that file we made, VRM models, and we're going to pull it out here. This is our VRM. You could tell because it has VRM meta, human descriptor, everything that we need for this to work correctly. I have the blend shadeable one because that's what we're mostly going to work in. So once you have it open, you're going to press blend shape, and this is where we do all of our like A, I, U, E, all the vowels, the blinks. You can create super easy. So, you know, you could just have a shirt like that. It's fine. So that's how you do everything. And this is like the blend shapes, how everything works. So, let's say that you want to have your tail above your head. You know, like some VTubers do. You're going to go ahead and grab over here. You can press this button on the side right here. This makes everything like that. I typically like to work with that because it's just a lot easier for me. So this is like, you know, how we move the bones and it stays. I typically like to have it like going off to the side a little bit. So it just looks nice. Can do this right here to make sure you have a straight look at it. But okay, so with all that being said, this is actually the model that I already completed. You can tell. So what you do is you go over here and you go into like wherever you want the fizz bones to be, or dynamic bones, whatever you want to call it. So you just go to like your head, your ear root. So I have, this is spring bone. You're going to click right here. Actually, I'll just do it. You're going to click here. And you're going to press VRM, and that's going to come up with everything for the VRM. So you're going to go to spring bone here. Now, if you want colliders, like so you don't want your hair going through or anything like that, then you press spring bone collider group. So that's how you do that. So this is already here. So basically, you just kind of play around. You can play around in the play mode, so you can see how it looks while you're working on it. So for example, you just click this right here to get to the whole body, and you can move it, and you can see everything that moves. So let's say, you know, you want the ears, you know, you want to pull it more. You can see how more stiff it is. So you just kind of play with it. If you want to save it, you like it, you press over here and you press copy, and that will copy the component. Then you press play, and everything reverts back to how it was before. It does not save anything. So then you press right here, and then you press component values if there's already something here. If there's not and it looks like this, you press up here and paste component as new. And then you just drag this into right here. Make sure that this says 1. It's going to say 0. Make sure it's 1 so that you have an element. I don't really need this, so that's how you do that. Now, let's say that you want to add a bone collider. Then same thing, you go to VRM. Here, I'll go right here real quick just so you can see. You go to VRM and you go right here, the bone collider. So that's what we're on. So the radius allows you to change the radius of it. You can move these, or you can move this too. So it's really up to you. Both either works. If it doesn't have the arrows here, then you can actually do this, or you can just type in the number. So whatever is to your liking. So once we're done with all that, all your fizz bones basically for the model is done. That's how you see like my ears moving, my tail moving, everything else like that. So that is all done. Then you got to go to the things that you don't like, that you want to be as an animation. So for example, the arm sleeves, you want them to show up kind of like, you know, when you're doing a VRChat model and you make your animations. I actually have a folder here called animations. And I'll kind of like go with you on like how that works. So all you do is you just create over here. Make sure you have an animation controller as well. Animator controller is going to be able to like tell the system, I want all these to be in there. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new one. This is going to be a tut, and we're going to make a animation, and we're going to name it tut as well. So as long as they're not the same, you can name them the same. It's not a problem. What I do is I go here, and you're going to go to animator. You're going to click on animator, and you're going to pull whatever the animator, the animation controller, you're going to pull it into here for the controller, and then you're going to go to animator. It's going to be empty. So then you just pull, you know, what you want in there. We're making the tut here, so that's what we're going to do. So then you can go to animation, and there's tut right here. So that's how you do that. So let's say that I want to have the arm sleeves on, okay? You do have to go out a little bit because whenever you do press preview, it is going to drop down your model. So you do have to come out a little bit just so you can see it. So I'm going to press the record button, and then I'm going to click on here, and then that's basically it. And then I'm going to go over here to 1, and I'm going to off click it and click it again. So it makes an animation key right here. So you can see the animation key right now. So that just says that whenever it plays, it's going to continuously do that. It's going to continuously stay on. So that is how you make that animation. So after you're done with that, you just press preview again. It goes back to your main character, and so that's it. You've made an animation. That is basically it. That's all you have to do. So then what you're going to do is the VSeeFace SDK that you downloaded before. You're going to go down here. I actually have one here already. So you're going to press down here. You're going to press VSeeFace. Actually, hold on. We're going to go over here just so you can see it a little better. You're going to press VSeeFace, and then you'll see VSeeFace animations. That's the first one there. So that's what you're going to click on. I already did mine here. So let's say that, you know, we want the arm sleeves. You're going to go back to blend shape, click on blend shapes here, and then you're going to create a blend shape, and you're going to name it sleeves. I already have an arm sleeve, which is right here. So like my arm sleeve, there's nothing in here. I don't have anything going on in here at all. So I just have arm sleeve by itself. So what we're going to do is that VSeeFace animation that we just added here, we're going to press the plus sign here, and then we're going to look for, let me move out of the way so you can see, we're going to look for arm sleeves, which is right here. I already have arm sleeves, so I'm not going to do that, but I guess I can real quick just to show you. After you press arm sleeves, you're going to press right here, and then you're just going to type arm sleeves, and it'll be right there. Or if you are in it, you can go over here to the animations, and you can grab and drop. That works too. So either way works. I don't need this because I already have it, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So that is how you do the animation. Super, super simple. Now for the people who want to make like an idle animation for their avatar, like let's say, you know, on this one, she has a little nose twitch that happens like every now and then, which is, I'm not going to go into it. I'll explain how I did it, but I'm not going to go into it because, you know, everybody has different, like how their models are made. So basically it's called nose idle, which is right here. This is the animation. I created the animation myself. So basically what it does, So in order to play or edit or anything else like that, if you already have, you're going to pull the animation controller that it's on. So you're going to go to animation. I'm going to go to nose idle, and I'm going to preview. So that's going to drop down there. Okay. So what this basically does is I added keys. So I'll kind of explain a little bit on how I did this. So you just press play, and it does that. and it keeps going until right here, and it allows a good spot. So then when it does, it'll just loop. It'll just continuously loop like that. That's an idle animation. So basically how you do that is, let's go, you know what, this works. So basically how you do that is, I'm gonna go into TUT here, and we're gonna go ahead and press that. So you just go to the bones that you want moved. So for example, I actually rigged the nose myself. So I already have noses on here. So if it's clipping like that, you just double click your model, and then you're able to go in a little bit more. There we go. Oh, it was on here. That's why it was doing it. Anyway, so basically all you do is you just grab what you want. I want it from a side view so I can work on it. So like, let's see here, you want the nose to move. So you just kind of move it. Whenever you move it, it'll add a keyframe. Just like that. So just like that. It'll add a keyframe. So when you press play, you know, it'll continuously do. So that's basically how you do it. You just continuously, you know, just play around with it until it's to your liking. Once you are done and you're happy with the animation, you just press record again, and it'll automatically just save it to like how it is. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these because I don't really necessarily need. After you are done making your animations, you're going to press over here, and you're going to go ahead and press, you know, delete, so that this controller says none. If it does have the controller that you currently made in there, it can break the avatar. After we're done, we're going to click on your project, and you're going to go to VSeeFace SDK. You're going to export avatar bundle, and it's going to save in its own. We already have it in VRM models, so we're going to save it under VRM bunny blend shapes. Before we do though, I do want to show you, just for the people who do use Pyomi shaders. So I guess he recently fixed it. So just as like an example, we can go ahead and put glitter on here. So you can see here, if I press play, it's going to show the glittering like that. So with that being said, with that on there, we're going to go ahead and go click on here. You're going to click on VSeeFace SDK, export model, and it's just going to be whatever you want it to be named. So it's just going to be right here. You're going to press save, and it's going to save the model. So what you do then is you open up your VSF or VSeeFace, and you go to avatar selection. You're going to hit add avatar, and you're going to go to wherever the file is that you saved. So it's going to be, and you just go wherever it is. We did save it under blend shapes, so we're going to go to blend shapes, and it's going to be right here. We're going to open. There we go. Select, and that's it. Everything's already done because this is already a completed model. But just to kind of show you how the avatar, like how everything kind of works, we're gonna go to settings, expiration settings, and that's where, you know, all this is right here. So for example, I already have all these set up to different, you know, numpad 8 number, stuff like that. So I'm able to change clothing, I'm able to add it, I'm able to change my hair and stuff like that. And for the idle animation, you can actually see here, let me move up a little bit. You do have to turn on the idle animation every single time, but basically you go in here and see it does it. So in like a few seconds it should twitch again. There we go. So that's basically how you do it. I did forget one more thing. I am so sorry. Go back over to let me change my model back. I'm so sorry. Okay, there we go. You go back to your animations, and whenever you click on the nose idle, make sure that this looping time is on. If it's not on, it will not loop. So any idle animation you want, make sure this looping time is on. That is the only way that it's going to be able to loop. Other than that, though, as you saw before as well, just for the people who do use Pyomi, as you can see, there is sparkles on the dress. So Pyomi does in fact work. But that's basically it. That is basically how you do that. For the people who want to, you know, just do normal, just the blend shapes, you go to blend shapes, you go here, and then like A, you just press like, you just go to body, and then you just push A. So that's how you do that, and it sticks like that. So for the people who have like, I have angry, it does. Oh, you can't see. I'm so sorry. I did angry, so it does that. So like A right here, you go over here and you press on body, and you go to the blend shapes here, and that's how you do like the A and stuff like that. And for like sorrow, you know, you just kind of play around with it basically. But if you wanted to get more in depth, that's how you do the animations. I'm sorry if it was a little out of everywhere. This is my first time doing a tutorial like this, so hopefully it helps. But please let me know if you need anything else. My Discord will be in there as well, so you're more than welcome to reach out. But I really do hope this helps. I hope to see you guys out there.